Good morning, students. Today, I wish to introduce a book in front of you. This is the book. This book is written in Malayalam language, so you may not be able to read this. And his name is written here in a red color. Are you able to identify this person? Hmm? Some of you may know. Here, at least you can read this Nobel Peace Prize winner 2014. Okay, he's an Indian. Uh, some of you may not know him. The reason behind is he is always behind the curtain. And the winner of Nobel Peace Prize, an Indian, when he got the Nobel Prize, the people of India have come to know about him. Many people of India, even the media persons who go behind everyone to get news, even the media persons also became shocked when this person got Nobel Prize in 2014 that they did not know this person. Who was this person? They asked themselves. Why I introduced this book and why I introduced this person? Not because that he has got Nobel Peace Prize. We are talking or we are discussing about two lessons. We have already discussed the lost spring. Now we are discussing an elementary school classroom in a slum. This man has a greater importance related to this topic. He is the one who has saved lakhs of children from child labor. His work extends not only in India, in hundreds of countries all over the world, but we do not know him. Uh, he has got so many prizes, and one thing I have observed is in 2014, uh, when he got Nobel Peace Prize, till the time he didn't get any prize from India, though he was born and brought up in India. Whereas many Nobel Peace Prize winners, their working area is in other countries. You know about Amartya Sen, then about the recent Nobel Prize winner in economics. They are all US citizens or UK citizens. Amartya Sen UK citizen. He is a US citizen. Though they have born in India, we can call them as Indian born American or Indian born Britisher. And Mother Teresa, she was not an Indian, but later she got Indian citizenship. But the peculiarity of Kailash Satyarthi is that he is born and brought up in India, and his major work area is in India, but nobody knows him. And many people means high class people, or they don't want to give a wide publicity about this man. There are so many reasons. So as we are discussing these lessons, he was a mechanical engineer in a government department. He was a mechanical engineer and was working in a government department. And the thing is that he viewed child labor at the age of 6. While on the way to his school, it was raining and he had an umbrella in his hand. But he saw some children of his age, they were not going to school and they were working in small shops. They used to get beat from the owners or from their parents. And once a time he asked them why you were not sending the children to school. They didn't give any reply. When he repeatedly asked, they gave the reply that they didn't have money to send these children to school. So here comes the importance of this person. But it was always in his mind to work for children. And in 1998, he left his job as a mechanical engineer. Then he started a worldwide organization called Bachpan Bachao Andolan. Sometimes you may have heard about this. He witnessed child labor and he wanted to save the children from factories, carpet weaving factories, firecracker companies, textile mills, etc. And he saved thousands of such children. And he started a program called Bal Mitra Project. In 2014, this Bachpan Bachao Andolan saved almost 83,525 children from human trafficking under the leadership of this person, Kailash Satyarthi. And they have submitted a report also called Missing Children of India. And this report says that almost 1 lakh children are missing every year in India. They have been used for organ transplantation, human trafficking, then child labor, many such things, sexual abuse. And the government is also not interested to inquire all about this. When the Nobel Committee gave Nobel Prize to him, Kailash Satyarthi, they told this is actually a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. Because Mahatma Gandhi's name also nominated for Nobel Peace Prize at his time. But due to some reasons they rejected it. And this time when the Nobel Committee announced the prize for Kailash Satyarthi, they told that this was actually a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi because they couldn't give. They regretted. Because Kailash Satyarthi, he was traveling in the same path of Mahatma Gandhi. What happened, Mahatma Gandhi also during his time, the Britishers, the high class people were trying to subdue him. So similarly, he was the people, the high class society, the wealthy multinational companies, they wanted children to be engaged in their companies for child labor. And they wanted to subdue this man who is trying to save the children. So that's why no one knows Kailash Satyarthi. And that's what Nobel Peace Committee told. This is actually a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. Second thing is one more person got Nobel Peace Prize along with the Kailash Satyarthi. Do you know who is that person? The same. One more person who has also worked for the children's education, mainly girls' education all over the world. Malala Yousafzai. Nothing but Malala Yousafzai. The children were celebrating. The children of Bachpan Bachao Andolan, they were celebrating along with the celebrating with the pictures of Kailash Satyarthi and Malala Yousafzai after receiving a Nobel Peace Prize in 2014. What the Nobel Committee told, the main intention of Nobel Peace Prize, giving Nobel Peace Prize is to make relations, the persons who work for the relationships among countries and those who work for the betterment of children. And here, mainly the people who have got Nobel Peace Prize, like Barack Obama, they have got for making a good relationship with other countries. Mother Teresa also got Nobel Peace Prize for the same thing, that for the work she did in the slum areas for the poor people in India. In this book, he talks about a person called Basu Rai. This is the picture of Basu Rai. He's from Nepal. He has written a book from the streets of Kathmandu. From the streets of Kathmandu, written by Basu Rai. His history is he was actually a thug. He lost his mother in his early age. Later, at the age of 4, he lost his father. Then he was thrown to the streets. And from the streets, he fought with other children, other people. Later, he became a threat for the society. And once in a fight, he was severely injured and he was taken to the hospital. And from there, he met Kailash Satyarthi and he saved him from it. And there, Basurai opened up all his mental feelings, sadness, all the sufferings he had in his life. And Kailash Satyarthi and Bachpan Bachao Andolan, they gave him full support and they were successful in bringing back Basurai as a good man who worked for the people, from a villain to a good man who worked for the people. And he wrote all the problems he suffered, and just like he suffered, there were many children who suffered like him. So based on that, he had written this book, From the Streets of Kathmandu. So why I am talking about this all incidents. Kailash Satyarthi, he was able to save, as I told you, thousands or lakhs of children. And you may have heard about right to education. Right to education was implemented in India on April 12, 2012. The Supreme Court upheld the constitutional validity of the provision in Right to Education Act. That makes it mandatory for all government and private schools to reserve 25% of the seats for children belonging to weaker section. And every year in admissions in class 1, 25% seats are reserved for children under right to education. You may know about that. The main person who worked behind this is Kailash Satyarthi. So as I told you, Kailash Satyarthi and Malala Yousafzai, they got Nobel Prize for Peace because of the contributions they have made among, or they are making, still they are doing it among the children or among the poor people all over the world. And you know that Malala is a goodwill ambassador for girls' education, and Kailash Satyarthi works for all the children. I want to tell you, children, in Manipur I have observed many children engaged in child labor. In some cases, I wished to raise a question why these children are not going to school. So I think governments, even they do not get admission in Kendriya Vidyalayas or in private schools where they have to pay huge fees, there are government schools. And instead, these children, they have been engaged in work in different houses as servants. I wish to tell you one thing, children. As per the rule amended in 2006, children should not be deputed as servants to do household works. This is the amended rule in 2006. But I have seen many children doing household work in Manipur as well. So children, these are all eye open. There are so many incidents in this book, but the thing is that this book is written in Malayalam language. There is no English translation of this book. You can see this picture of a child crying. This child had been saved by Bachpan Bachao Andolan and Kailash Satyarthi. I will show you certain pictures from this book. And as I told you, he is following the paths of Mahatma Gandhi as a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. He got Nobel Peace Prize. You can see the children working in factories, quarries, mines. You can see that a child engaged in crushing stones in the construction field. You can see the blood oozing out from the forehead of Kailash Satyarthi. There were a lot of such cases. This was a case when he tried to save the so many ladies and children, girl children from Ramganj Mandi, where he heard that they had been sexually harassed. So he, with his people, went to save the children and people, but he had been severely beaten, and one of his follower, he was killed. But later he was able to save these people, ladies, in many cases, and he saved many children from circus companies, carpet weaving factories, as I told you. In many cases, he risked his life. He escaped very narrowly from death. In many cases, they thought that he died. They had severely beaten him with iron pipes, hockey sticks, etc., and they thought that he died. And I told you, on his way, many of his followers died. So he always risked his life, and he was always behind the curtain. And when he got the Nobel Prize, the media person asked the question, "You do not come to public, seen in newspapers." Then what he has said that I am working for the marginalized people, so I am also behind the curtain. So that was his reply. As he is working for the people who are unknown, means missing children or the child labor or the children who are working in factories, because no one knows about them, those children, no one knows about those children. So that's why he says that as I am working for those marginalized people or those who are behind the curtain, so automatically I am also, my name is also unknown. So that is a beautiful reply given by Kailash Satyarthi. Work to save the children, they have to risk their life. There is no guarantee for their life. And Kailash Satyarthi has got full support from his wife and children. They are also working for the same. And Kailash Satyarthi's wife's parents and their family, they abandoned her for marrying Kailash Satyarthi. But she was an ardent supporter of Kailash Satyarthi. Now Kailash Satyarthi gets the help of his children also in his work in Bachpan Bajao Andolan. So this is all about Kailash Satyarthi. Children, try to read this type of books.